So here are the top 4 rogues that you should be using in Rogue Company. Let's get to it. We're going to be running through the worst of the 4 rogues and then to the best of the 4 rogues. So stay tuned for all of that. Let's start out with the worst of the 4 rogues, and definitely not the worst rogue in this game, but that definitely has to go to Dahlia. So Dahlia has access to the objection and it is meta currently, and that is really, really good for her. However, she also has really good survivability and can be played very versatile with different passives. She also has solid utilities for a healer with frag grenades and smoke grenades, which are really, really good for getting the revives off faster and also being able to get that pick potential off really, really quickly. The cons to her is that she really requires teammates to really be effective in the game. You need to understand your teammates, but you also need to have knowledge of different passives. If you're just starting out in the game, you don't even know what passives are, you won't know how to play Dahlia very effectively, how you could pair with like someone that isn't that good right now. I was going to say Vi, but then I realized she had a buff. So yeah. Okay, so let's move on now to the 3rd spot, which has to go to Runway. So Runway has really good tactical utility, and you'll see a lot in high land tournaments and other things like that, that she is played a lot or banned a lot. She is run 100% of the time if she isn't banned, or she is banned. So she is really, really good. I think that's already an indicator that in the esports level, she is really, really good. She has good tactical utility. She can be played at long range with that sniper rifle and short range with that Hydra or even a KA-30. She can also be played defensively with those claymores, but she can also be played very aggressively with those semtex. So she really has a lot of pick potential, but also a lot of defensive potential as well. Her cons is that she has no real survivability besides headstrong. She doesn't have tenacity or bounce back or other things like that, and so she really has to dump everything she can into just being as aggressive as possible and just seeing whether she can really come out on top. She also really requires communication with her teammates to see where she should place her abilities. So for example, if I give my briefcase and no one picks it up, or the wrong people pick it up, then your briefcase is pretty much going to be useless. So you need to understand this is a teammate that needs to get it, so you need to have good communication with your teammates. She also has a really high skill ceiling with that sniper rifle. So the sniper rifle is really hard to use. It's taken me like 3 weeks to use it. Obviously, you guys are a lot better than me. But for beginner players, that sniper rifle isn't really going to be the thing that you want to run. If you do want to run it, I'm not forcing you at all. But Runway is going to be in that 3rd place. Alright, so let's now move on to 2nd place, which has to go to Scorch. So Scorch is really, really good. She can be played in ranked and can be used to plant the bomb with tenacity, immunity to fire, and a headstrong. That makes her an extremely tanky rogue to be also held in the defensive lines as well, because people, are probably going to be used to dumping on site. She can survive that. She also has headstrong, and she also has immunity to fire, so she pretty much cannot leave a corner. That is how good she is. She can also be played very aggressively. She can win most 1v1s with her overheat ability, and her utilities are very versatile with EMP grenades for breaching, but also incendiary grenades to really block off those high corners and other things like that. Her survivability is probably the best in the game, if not the best in the game. The only person I can really think that really comes close is Anvil, but he doesn't have immunity to fire, which is what puts him below Scorch. She has no real long range, which is one of the cons about her, but if you can pick up a DMR or something, she will be an absolute beast, and her usefulness in ranked does require a high skill ceiling to understand what you kind of need to do. Do I need to hold the bomb? Where do I plant the bomb? What perks do I pick up? Do I pick up headstrong or tenacity? I can't pick up one or the other, so you need to understand which ones you need to pick up. Alright, so now let's move on to an honorable mention. The honorable mention has to go to Lancer. That's all I need to say, Lancer. Alright, let's now move on now to Kestrel, which is the best rogue in this game. So, the pros is that she can gain a lot of utility faster than most rogues. Her bounce grenade has a lot of outplay potential, considering she can pretty much bounce it off anything and then just get that geometry and be able to use it very, very effectively. Her halo drones can be used to push an enemy off a corner, which is really, really, really good, but it has a high skill ceiling, so you need to understand where you need to put it, and her selections of weapons are meta with a KA-30 or an objection, whichever one you really, really need. Her cons are that she has no long range and she has nothing to really stop a push. If you understand how to use her halo drones, maybe, but it's not a 100% viable thing, and that is the main problem with her. But for a rogue that is the best rogue in the game, she definitely has to have some cons, and I think that is a worthy con, and that's definitely the reason why she can also win most 1v1 fights with her selection of guns and other things like that. That makes her one of the best duelists and one of the best rogues in this game. Alright guys, I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's daily upload. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because I do daily Rogue Company content. Don't want you guys to miss it. We're on the road to 200 subscribers. Let's get it. Alright, see you guys all in tomorrow's daily upload. Bye bye.